Hello, everybody. I'm gonna play Esper Control today, and it is the deck that has been requested for me to play probably more than every other deck. I think it's a really fun deck if you're a blue mage. I think that the deck, in the way that draw go, is current. You normally build doesn't really have a ton of proactivity, and that can make it kind of a dog sometimes, only because there's a lot of it requires you to have the right answer at the right time, because there's a lot of things in Modern that can kill you if you can't answer them immediately or almost immediately. Which is one reason that I know everybody seems to love Fatal Push. Maybe I'm just missing something, but I think it kind of, I'm only have one in the 75 because I want to try it. I'm just not convinced, and the main reason is I'm just thinking, like, with a lot of Eldrazi out there and maybe even some Tassigers and things like that, it does not kill those creatures. And maybe those decks are slow enough that Verdict is fine. I don't know. I'm going to give one a try. I think some number of Serum Visions is... I kind of just want to run 4 in this deck, to be honest, because I think it's too good not to run, but I know that you really want to be holding mana up, so I'm going to try 2. I'm only running 25 lands. I feel like between the extra couple of Serum Visions and the fact that we're running 4 Think Twice, I think that's enough. Purists may say you can't run less than 25, but, you know, I don't know. I don't really agree with anybody who has, like, just over such small percentages, super hard and fast lines, especially... I think you run around 26 lands if you're only running Think Twice, I think. But I've played the deck... This light sucks. I've played the deck off and on, and the deck sometimes draws a lot of lands when you're trying to draw spells, so there's definitely a balance there. Anyway, you know, I don't have too much to say, because I don't really know how to... You know, I haven't played this deck in a long time, and... I don't know how you beat Burn. I'm going to put a couple Blessed Alliance and Collective Brutalities in the side to help. I feel like these Blessed Alliance are kind of overdoing it for creature matchups, but I'm just like, I don't know how I beat Burn with this deck. So maybe I don't want this one. Oh, I know one card I can put in. One card I kind of wanted to try out because I don't know how good it is Lost Legacy. I mean, obviously, against some combo decks, it'd be really good. But yeah, I'm just not really sure what I want to do with this deck. I honestly don't know. These are in place of some Thoughtseizes again, because thinking, well, they have a similar effect, and maybe I can kill a Goblin Guide and gain a couple of life and make them discard or something like that. So yeah, it's kind of like my loose plan. What I've been looking at as far as lists, this one was sent to me by I want to say Josh Walker. Let me double check. Yeah, that was correct, Josh Walker. He posts a lot in the Blue White X competitive Facebook group. And, you know, I don't know how good Geist is in the sideboard. I don't know how good all these Lost Legacies are. I don't know if you want all 4 Wraths in the main, considering there's just a lot of creatures that it looks like Wrath is really good against. Good here, good here, good here, good here, good here, good here. So my buddy Scott really likes Torrential Gearhulk. He doesn't want to run Secure the Way, so he can run cards like Knight of Soul's Betrayal. I don't know how good this is. I don't know if that's just good in his meta. I really don't know. But I'm kind of curious about Torrential Gearhulk. I don't like the idea that it's a lot of mana as a threat into... It's a lot of mana into a way to win the game into one threat, where Secure the Waste really kind of distributes your mana across a lot of threats and makes it much more resilient. But flashing back Cryptic Command sounds sweet, and maybe even an Esper Charm. So yeah, I'm just really curious. I want to give it a try. All right, well, I don't have much time, and I'm already behind on videos. Obviously, this is Tuesday. I'm recording this on Tuesday, and I didn't release one yesterday. So let me get a competitive league fired up, and I'll see you guys in a moment. So waiting for a game. Very curious to hear what you guys think. The reason I have Ruined Halos is I do feel like some of the combo matchups could be difficult. I'm kind of thinking about like red-green Valakut. If they get a Valakut in play, it's not like we have a ton of Tectonic Edges. It'd be nice to be able to name Valakut and then just kill everything else that they try to do and eventually find a way to kill them. Okay, so we have a match. Let me know your thoughts on Fatal Push. It's easy to say you needed to survive the early game. I mean, that's what everybody else always says about playing Esper, draw, go, survive the early game, obviously. But I just hate that I would almost rather just say I'll just run like 2 more Condemns in the main and 4 Path to Exile because I want my removal spells to be just as unconditional as possible. That way I'm not depending on having the right one at the right time. At least that's my thoughts. Okay, so let's start. This seems great if we're against a creature matchup. If we're against something like a combo deck, seems terrible. But we're obviously going to lead with Colonnade and then probably play... we'll see what happens. We might play the Grave. But I'm assuming that we're going to play Polluted Delta into Hollowed Fountain, which will get us our second white source that we're going to need for Supreme Verdict. Maybe we're playing against Death's Shadow. We will see. If it's a Thought Seize, it makes it more likely. Okay, no. So sorry, that just distracted me. I have no idea what that creature is. Never seen it before. What does Graft even do? This creature enters the battlefield with +1. When another creature enters the battlefield, you may move a +1/+1 counter from this. Okay, so you're just moving the +1 from this, so then this creature, this Simic Initiate, dies. I guess there's like some reason to make it die, for some beneficial reason. So then so he opted not to move. Okay. Is there any reason to have double black? I really can't think of any. We'll just do this. And that's a reason for me to shock, I think. Just gonna probably draw 2 and then Wrath next turn. I saw this card somewhere online. I think maybe somebody was thinking it was busted or something. I actually think I'm just going to Esper Charm my opponent because we have this Sphinx's Revelation. He's got 3 cards in hand. He didn't do anything, so it's possible they're just like removal spells, but I actually think it's fine to just make him discard. And if he doesn't have removal spells, if he has like actual spell, like kind of like this, means he has actual spells, he just doesn't want to walk into a Wrath, and we're getting a 2-for-1 out of the Esper Charm, and we're getting a not that spell, we're getting a 2-for-1 out of the Wrath of God. So now our opponent's on only a card in hand. He's going to draw something. We have more ways to clean up creatures, and then a Sphinx's Revelation to draw back into the game. Looks like our opponent drew a land. Ballista, probably, because, yeah. Yeah, so I'm actually just going to... Does that really matter? I don't think it really matters. No. What I was like, it could potentially save me a damage. I guess he could like pay 4 mana, put 1/+1/+1 on the walking ballista. So if we let him untap and he just tries to do that, then he gets to shoot us for 3, but we give him an extra land. However, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I've just decided. I don't really care about the extra damage, and Um, no, actually, I lied again. I'm gonna do it. I don't really know what the right thing there is. Really that big of a deal. He can gun like yeah, he can deal 2 to us. Because we're probably just gonna cryptic whatever he plays. And I mean, we're gonna like it's not like he's giving him an extra land when he's drawing off the top. It's not like giving him that extra land gives him the ability to deploy multiple threats a turn because he's only drawing 1 threat. So I don't really feel like we even need to fire this cryptic command off at the moment. I mean, sorry, the Sphinx's Revelation. I mean, we can do it for 2, but I just don't think we really have a reason to. We can counter draw a spell. We can, if it's a creature that we're fine to just path, we can just let him resolve in path. Seems like the kind of matchup that we want to play against playing Esper. Do we care if he... Can we double cryptic here? I don't really care if he gains life. I'll just path this. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can't quite. We cannot quite cryptic and attack with colonnade. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I could have attacked there, but I don't know that I need to. I'll counter draw that. I mean, I know it only cost 1, but that seems like something that he, like some kind of enabler for his deck to do whatever it is his deck does. Okay, so that's enough there. Against this deck, Gideon's probably good. If it's got a bunch of little creatures, Engineered Explosives is probably good. At this point, I don't even know if it's overkill. I guess we just take out like the negates. We can probably take out the logic knots. I don't know if we want this or not. Maybe bring in this Blessed Alliance. Maybe bring in this Detention Sphere. Like, rather than try to fight his creatures on the stack, we can just let him resolve them, and most of the time, and that's probably fine. Seems fine. I mean, all this seems fine, I think. We could probably trim a cryptic command. Fine to keep all this other stuff. So we didn't really see our opponent do a ton, but I definitely think they're trying to play like hardened scales and come out really fast and strong and be really aggressive. This hand has no removal, and I think and it has a card we're not even looking to cast until later, so I think I want to mulligan this. Oh, Lord. Obviously I have to mulligan that. Well, I mean, that first hand had 0 removal spells. I think it was fine to try to go for the 6. I'm gonna mulligan again. That hand we just had, good God. Maybe I should have kept the one with the Serum Visions. Hey, look. All right, we'll keep that on top. So that one, the reason I mulliganed the one with the Serum Visions is because it was a 1-lander. That deck had it would like, I mean, it had the tools to get out of the spot it was in, but that hand had to do so much. Like, that hand had to find more lands and find removal. So you have the Serum Visions to find another land so you can cast the thing twice to just hope that you're going to draw into what you need to. Can't imagine we're winning this game. Let's just start. So on the one hand, our opponent, on the one hand, we'll see what our opponent mulligan to. I guess he didn't mulligan at all. So, like, the downside of pathing here is that it, on one hand, if we give our opponent more lands, we kind of accelerate his ability to kill us and what we need to buy us time. Because then our opponent maybe can just, like, we give him a 3rd land now, and then he has a really explosive turn, and we're dead in a few turns. So, not that I really want him to be getting triggers off this colonnade, but I think given our hand and just the whole situation, this pathetic situation, I think we just kind of have to let the Dark Confidant hang about for a bit. All right. Yeah, I definitely think we hit kind of like a bad spot of variance there. We shouldn't... I think it was unlikely for us to draw... Usually it would be unlikely for us to draw into... All right. Oh, wait a second. Probably that I should have just cast the thing twice immediately to try to hit a land drop. That was a mistake. Yeah. That was not smart. I'm short on time, so I might just... Well, let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm just going to assume that he... I'm going to assume that he plays something that, like, I don't know, buffs these guys and we're dead. But... almost certainly dead. Oh my god, why did it give me... Ugh. I have 4 of these things twice, but I have some leftovers of the other ones. Okay, so that was a little weird. I guess I'm not bringing the brutality because I'm thinking like his creatures will get big quickly. Um, I don't know if he's reliant enough on one creature to bring in this Rune Halo. Just gonna try this again and hope that our mulligan and draws aren't so awkward. Okay, so this is... I'm going to keep this, but I feel like it's kind of similar to that. I'm kind of keeping it because we have this. This might just need to be another mulligan. I guess I'm just acting fearful because of what happened last time. It's better than that first hand that we had last game. But like if he just thought seizes here and takes our explosives, then that's kind of unfortunate. Okay, so the hand is definitely looking better. We're just going to play that and then play this and Esper Charm to draw cards. I get he needs to do it, but I don't totally hate it from the standpoint that he's kind of just giving us time to, develop our mana base, draw some cards, and put ourselves into a better position. Oh, that's not the one I thought you would take. But haha, we play Serum Visions now, so I kind of just think we want all of these. Question is, do we go ahead and play the explode? Nah, I don't think we do. I guess we could have maybe we could have as a way to kill this Hardened Scales instead of worrying so much about how to get extra value. We could have just thrown it out there for one, knowing we're at least going to trade with this Hardened Scales. It's not like our opponent doesn't know about it. Yeah, I guess that would have been fine too, right? Because all we're really going to do is... it would have done something with our mana, and we're just probably going to Wrath about anything next turn. Well, I don't want to Wrath away one Ballista. I think I'm gonna could have done this last turn. I think for now I will. So Right's play this on one. I think it's fine. Because if, let's say our opponent has a number of 1-drops in his hand that he doesn't want to cast, because now we have this on the battlefield, then he has a less productive turn next turn because he's holding some things back. And then that allows us to play this Gideon Jura. Alright, so I'm still just going to ignore that. And play Gideon. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Because of the stupid Hardened Scales, he does get to pump this up. Now it would be 6, and he gets to attack Gideon. It's kind of annoying. He gets to attack Gideon for 4 and then shoot Gideon down with all the counters on this. So it's a little unfortunate. All right, well, that was not a very good play. I don't really want to. If we can shoot us for 4. Yeah, I'm definitely I'm not playing around this whole walking ballista and hardened scales interaction correctly at all. We're just going to Wrath. And then just pop the engineered explosives. And if our opponent does something like play out everything in his hand, then we can torrential Gear Hulk and get back Supreme Verdict. Not that we want to do that, but we have the choice. All right. Well, that was just that whole sequence was pretty not good. Opponent has 1 card in hand. We have a Snapcaster Mage and a Cryptic Command. I don't really want to blow this dude up, but that would leave him with a... I guess we just will. Oh, God, man. I really don't know how to play this deck because it's not instant or sorcery. It's just instant. Oh, man. Okay, so I must have clicked pat. So I thought it was giving it, I didn't even cast it. I didn't. Ugh. I could have at least drawn 2 cards. This is terrible. Well, I mean, we have a 5/6. Okay, so what happened was when Torrential Gear Hook entered, it was the first time I played the card. It obviously asked me something like, do you want to cast Esper Charm? And I said no. Alright, so how did this thing get so huge? What am I missing here? So the ballista gets to keep getting... Oh, sorry, I'm sitting on my phone. Alright, well, we're going to have to do something about that. Like, pathing it would be nice. I think I just want to draw this. So, but I also want that. So I'm going to put that on top. So when our opponent activates this at the end of turn, we'll go ahead and think twice. Path this. And I guess we can, yeah, let's just, we'll snap path that as well. Hold on one moment. Okay, my son's back and I got stuff coming up, so I gotta hurry. I think I'm going to end up, I'm going to dig us out of this the silly mess that I put us in. Alright, so we are tapped out. But what does that mean? Does our opponent just play like a walking ballista and then we're dead? Is that something that could happen? Probably a better way to even do that whole turn as well. Yeah, perfect time to go ahead and rev. X is 4, right? Yeah. One of spell snare. Okay, we'll think twice. We'll start flashing back these think twices. Love to find another Snapcaster Mage and Snap Rev. Alright, well, so this kind of match is what Esper Drago wants to play against. Better than I just did, though. Obviously, so what I probably I definitely needed to kill the Hardened Scales or whatever that's called. I mean, obviously, that turn where I could have played the Engineered Explosive but didn't, I probably should have. I wasn't really thinking a lot how, you know, it was going to interact with things like Walking Ballista and stuff like that, but then, you know, I didn't really consider how he had the Ballista and it would get big really quickly because of Hardened Scales and put our Gideon in jeopardy. Like, the line itself, the way I think I sequenced things, it's other than not playing that Engineered Explosives on one that turn I should have, was kind of fine. It's just that, you know, I wasn't thinking about how that, like, against any other creature, it would have been more or less okay. I wasn't really considering how the Walking Ballista was going to grow really big, and then he would just kill our Gideon, and we would look really dumb, and it would be really sad. But anyway. Okay, so I would love to go ahead and knock out the... What is the deck even called? Like green-black Hardened Scales or something like that? Was there white? I don't even remember. Let's just look real quick. We'll do this together. So he is... Okay, so just like green-black Hardened Scales. All right. I would love to play a second one now and get it queued up for tomorrow because I'm already one video behind. And if I had the time, I would go ahead and do that and then post both today. I have like an insufferable amount of meetings tonight until 11 p.m. Actually, the one at 10 p.m. is kind of semi-optional, although I do want to make it to that. So if I didn't have that, I would consider making the one video later tonight. As it stands, I'm going to go ahead and get this uploaded for you guys. And yeah, let me know what your opinions are. Feel free to correct my mistakes if you want, but trust me, I'm very aware of just how silly all that went. the power of Sphinx's Rev and just the cards in the deck as far as creature matchups go saved me. But yeah, let me know kind of what your thoughts on the lists are. Let me know what your thought on Fatal Push is. How does this deck beat Burn? How does this deck beat Red-Green Valakut? Those are really like, I'm not worried about how the deck beat Death Shadow or Tron or Junk or Affinity or Bant Eldrazi or Jund. That's all. I feel like all of this is pretty straightforward. So is Merfolk. I'm a little more concerned about how do we beat Shift. I think the Runed Halos can be good here. Actually, I think so. If we're looking at these other matchups, I think the Runed Halos could be against Titan Shift and Storm. Maybe Grixis Control just because they don't have a good way to interact with enchantments, so I don't know if that's what we want to be doing there. But naming Valakut here is nice. Naming Grape Shot against Storm is nice. I don't think they do anything against Tron. I think Tron's just... We're playing Esper Control against Tron. There's just not really a good way for us to make that go well, I think, unless we're going to do... I guess, let me think here. Actually, you know what? Lost Legacy has kind of some interesting potential, because I think the only card out of Tron that we're really just truly terrified of is probably... because we can, in theory, counter everything, except the one card that's really super annoying is... Ulamog, and they only have 2, but does it make them discard? It exiles them? Yeah, so this might be kind of cool. You could name Emrakul and then just be on the plan of, okay, we're going to just... Then again, yeah, I think we can. If we can get to a point where we're, like, crypticing things, cryptic command, like, you know... If we ever get to 6 mana especially, I think then we're just fine. We can probably counter everything. But if we can counter the initial stuff with things like negates, we could even let some things resolve. Like we could bring in a detention sphere and be like, that's fine. We'll let your we're gonna let your Ulamog resolve and detention sphere it. I think it's mainly just the Ulamogs. Did I say Ulamog? That's not what I meant. The old school planeswalker, the Spirit Dragon. We can like let him resolve DLS3 and then detention sphere it potentially and kind of save our counters for other stuff. So that's like that kind of makes me a little more interested in Lost Legacy. Okay, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Pull up the list one more time. And there's a small chance that I get a video out for you guys later today that will be video 2 and get caught up. But one of these days, whether it's tomorrow, which will be Wednesday or Thursday, or double video on Friday, I will get you the 5 videos of Esper Draw Go. Sorry that I'm late, just super busy. See you soon, draw well, and smash face.